Hi everyone, Rose Spiller from Proverbs 9:10 Ministries and No Trash, Just Truth podcast with another excerpt from this week's episode of No Trash, Just Truth. And it's from The Hot Mess Part 2, where we're talking about Samson. Here's the excerpt. When Samson woke up, he knew something was wrong, but he thought he would go out as before and shake himself off and attain victory over his enemies, just like all the times before. He didn't know that God had left him. And since the Spirit had left him, so had his strength. Samson thought God would never leave him and continue to give him victory. He was wrong. Isn't it crazy that Samson didn't leave Delilah after telling her about cutting his hair? Instead, he fell asleep on her lap. His arrogance has reached a new high. He wasn't even concerned enough to stay awake. And what happens when he does fall asleep? Judges 16:19-21 tells us. It says, she, Delilah, called a man and had him shave off the 7 locks of his head. Then she began to torment him, and his strength left him. And she said, the Philistines are upon you, Samson. And when he awoke from his sleep and said, I will go out as other times and shake myself free. But he did not know that the Lord had left him. And the Philistines seized him and gouged out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza and bound him with bronze shackles. And he ground at the mill in the prison. Nothing could have been more fitting than Samson being blinded. After all, it was his eyes and what seemed right to them that got him into trouble. Perhaps once he was blind, he could finally see. Who would blame God if he left Samson to his own consequences? But he doesn't. Instead, we see God offer Samson mercy and hope. And this mercy and hope is contained in one little verse, 16:22, which says, but the hair on his head began to grow again after it had been shaved. His hair began to grow back. Want to hear more? Join Chris and I for this week's episode of No Trash, Just Truth, The Hot Mess Part 2. No Trash, Just Truth is available on all podcast platforms, as well as the video version being available on Rumble and YouTube. Have a blessed day, everyone.